option for me. That's
really?
Actually the last thing I wanted to do.
What did you want to do?
Anything else but music.
Really?
Absolutely.
Why?
Well, I mean, I was surrounded by music, so that's not something I wanted to breach off away from it, you know?
Really?
Yeah, and I guess destiny brought me right back to it.
I was going to say, do you believe in destiny?
Yeah, I do.
Wow, so from your music, you've done so much. It seems like the trials and tribulations you've benefited from it. Like you've made it work. It's almost like a silver lining.
Well, I mean, that's the lessons that you learn in life. You know, everything happens, there's going to be obstacles that come, and it's pretty much in how you deal with it. You know, every situation that comes to you, positive or negative, and majority of the time it's going to be negative, because the negative always outweighs the positive. You got to figure out how to take the best out of that negative situation to you.
Well, it was comparatively easy, but I never stopped. You know, my father said I was like having 3 boys. And I think that's what it takes, a lot of energy and a lot of concentration and enjoying what you're doing.
Well, first I started doing talent competitions in New York, and I met a manager, and I signed with them, and I moved out here. And just a lot of hard work. You got to take classes and whatnot, and just keep putting your nose to the grindstone and keep trying every day, you know, and all the auditions, because there's a ton of auditions you got to go. And finally, after a while, you just kind of break through, and then it starts to work out for you. A lot of hard work. You just build a rapport with the different casting directors out there and whatnot, and once you've got a relationship going with them, they tend to bring you in for the bigger projects that they think you're right for, and over time, you get everything right.
For me, it was overcoming my distances, overcoming the things I didn't like about myself, finding my strength within to kind of go in the mirror and begin to feed myself sweet things. I believe that God gives us sweet words to ourselves, and sometimes we have to find it in ourselves to find those words, and look in the mirror and tell yourself every day, I'm a dreamer, I'm a believer, I'm a giver, I believe in hope. You know, those kinds of things fuel us, and they make us sing better, they make us dance harder. You know, when we pour into our acting skills, you believe the character now, you know, because it's personal. It's what you believe. And you work so hard just to believe in yourself, you can't give that up to anyone. I tell everyone, they just ask me, what would you tell Kobe Bryant? I would tell Kobe to protect his thoughts. You have to protect your thoughts about yourself.
Oh, it's enriched it. I feel, come on. So many times, you know, as I've gotten older, I had friends who are doctors, lawyers, Indian chiefs, or whatever. I think there's a statistic that around 80% of Americans hate their jobs. So this is my career. It's my career of choice, and I love it. And I'm still doing it. I still have the honor and the pleasure to work as an actor. That's all I've ever done. And how great is that? I mean, it's awesome. It's enriched my life in every way. It's been an awesome life, man. Yeah, it could be better. I wouldn't mind a couple $20, $30 million paychecks, but other than that, it's been kick-ass. It's been awesome.
For most auditions, I've discovered that simplicity does work. I am like the queen of auditions. I mean, auditioning for Top Model over 33 times, I tried every single way. I tried being the diva, the ghetto girl, the girl from the other side. You know, I tried every way. But at the end, just being me is what made me go through to be on America's Next Top Model Cycle 11. So I came in with some jeans on and a black wife beater and some basic black pumps with no sparkly diamonds or anything on it. So simplicity does work sometimes.
I started out as a little girl, 4 years old. My father was an original Gordon on Sesame Street, if you can believe that. That's where I kind of got the bug. But it doesn't matter whether you have nepotism or not, you got to get in that room and you got to sell it. I started out as an actress. On the first show I was on was 21 Jump Street. I was absolutely thrilled to get that job. But there are not a lot of jobs for young black actresses, and I was really fortunate to get one. But I would just encourage everyone, especially in this really difficult economic time, to hold on to your dream that much harder.
I was a model first, and that, allowed me to transition into commercials, which is how a lot of actors get started. So I did commercials, I was an extra in music videos, I mean, you name it. I started at the bottom and worked my way up. It takes a long time, and it's a lot of hard work. It's a 24-hour day job, but eventually it pays off.
Well, for me, I was only 11 years old, so it was really different for me. In my hometown, we're really big on talent shows and doing different things that kind of get you in the mix and get you in the eye of the people. So I did a talent show that was an all-female show, and I met Dallas Austin and Kevin Wells, and that pretty much changed my life. They later took me to Clive Davis, and that's where I've been for the last 15 years. He saw me perform, and he really enjoyed the fact that I was a young girl that had a lot of energy and was excited about singing, and I was singing a Whitney Houston song, Greatest Love of All. And being 11 years old singing that type of song, I think it made him wonder, was there a story behind all of the things that had taken place that particular night? And to meet me and find out all the different things I had experienced and what my life was like, and the fact that I had a church background. I had a very religious family that taught me a lot about God, and that was where I started to sing and explore my voice, my vocal ability. And we just formed a friendship that has lasted for almost 16 years now.
Well, I actually started modeling in Texas when I was younger, and I kind of just jumped into acting when I was like 13, and came out, booked my first movie, and my parents moved out for me, and I've started ever since. Who brought me out here for the audition for the movie, and it was a week process of going in and auditioning for casting, and then I eventually met the director, and he signed me on like a month later, and I came back and filmed the movie.
So I actually started in a very small TV market, majored in marketing, but started out in TV sales, and they asked me to do some cut-ins on the weekend, and so I started doing some on-air stuff, and from there I got a job in a bigger market. From there I was called by an agent, and then went to work in Miami and Hard News there, and then that was for NBC, and eventually that led me to Access Hollywood.
Acting in high school, and that kind of brought me out to California. Kind of started off in dancing and then modeling, and then had always been focusing on acting, but didn't start hitting shows and movies until I started auditioning, and I was ready to go. So I think about being passionate about the work is how I got to where I am. Yeah.
Well, I'm one of the very rare, blessed few that started out as a dancer. And I was a dance teacher, and I heard about a small audition to be a backup dancer, kind of like the Jennifer Lopez story. And I went to the audition, and the director saw me and saw on my resume that I had done some acting and singing as well, and auditioned for the part, 1 out of 500 girls. So just really blessed. I prepared my whole life, I'll be honest. When all my friends were out hanging out at the mall or partying, I was in dance class, I was in singing lessons, and working with my school drama department. So although it wasn't exactly the coolest thing to be doing, in the end that's what pays off.
I started when I was 7 years old, doing commercials and guest stars in television shows and small roles on movies, and just sort of built up from there. Yeah.
Started doing, that public access. Then I went to school. Education's always a good thing, if you want to study acting or things like that.
When did you get your break then?
I took broadcasting. I did a show in Canada for about 7 or 8 years, and then it got picked up by a network up there for a couple of years, and then it got picked up by MTV in 1999. That was probably the big break, and that was a lot of fun.
Well, I kind of always been up and down with what I wanted to do between music, dancing, and acting, and busted my butt since I was 9 trying to get the right job, and then finally I got Step Up 2 years ago, and kind of blew up my career for me, and right when I was ready to give up and all that, and it happened, so kind of just came out of nowhere, but I've been trying forever. So I say just stay true and keep working. It takes a lot of work to get to where you want to be.
Everybody at ExploreTalent.com.
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 ExploreTalent.com. ExploreTalent.com.